single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Shaka Antoine, and in today's video, I'm going to be recapping the 2018 season with you guys. This is basically just going to be how the season went for me, and also I'll add in a little bit in general what was going on with others. All right, but first let's just talk about this. The season, got off to a horrible start for me personally. Mostly in my personal life. In the month of March, I had a major rescheduling of my job schedule. It was a blessing in disguise because it gave me basically a lot more free time to decide when I want to work and when I want to enjoy life, which translated to when I could actually fish. One of the things that this caused is for me to decide when would be the proper time to fish versus the proper time to work. And it basically forced me to fish during the most optimal times versus just fishing 3 to 4 times per week or whenever I got out of work. So I had to focus my efforts on the more condition-based fishing opportunities, which, it worked out pretty good, I would say. I didn't have the best season. However, I still had a good season for the amount of times and, that I was able to actually get out and fish. All right, so let's go over the seasons here. We're going to start off with spring. All right, now the spring started off great. I can't complain. I caught all my fish on metal lip swimmers. I didn't fish bait, not really once. The fish seemed to be responding well enough to plugs, to the metal lip swimmers that I was using. So I decided to stick with that. If it's working, why change? I was fishing with a couple of my friends, Lou and V and others. They were fishing bait and they were catching, and I was next to them or a little ways away, and I was also catching. So I decided to just stick with the plugs. I'm really fond of catching fish in the springtime on metal lip swimmers, and you had to pull me away, and the results that I had didn't allow that. So I continued catching, they continued to catch, so hey, all was good, right? But there was a point in the spring, when they didn't stick around. They didn't stick around close to shore too long for whatever reason. Most times that's I equate that to the bait moving off. Basically, so when that happened, I went and hopped on the rockfish, and I'm very glad that I did that. This is my first time fishing with rockfish and the crew. Captain Rich doing a great job. These fish moved off, and the rockfish was right on them. This is actually the first time that I actually got on a charter in the West. I normally charter with Captain Tom and Montauk, but I decided to give it a try in the West. And like I said, I'm very happy that I did. Definitely was able to get the job done on several occasions. So that's going to be a regular occurrence for me in the springtime. When those fish move off, hey, time to hop on a boat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of these elite surf fishermen that only fish the surf. I catch them how you can is my motto. And when they move offshore, I hop on a boat. All right, but at some point they just stayed out there for the spring. When the summertime comes around, I absolutely love fishing in the summers. The dill drums are in full swing, and I don't stick around close to shore. Neither do the fish. Neither are the fish. They're not really close to shore. They're moving off into the cooler waters. or they are heading north. The majority of them are heading north to the cooler waters. And at that time, you know, I hightail it out to the canal, man. I love fishing the Cape Cod Canal. You know, there's a lot of guys, a lot of fishermen that like to bash other fishermen for choosing to fish the canal. I don't know why they do that. I mean, that's kind of pointless to me, you know. But hey, to each his own. But I really would wish that you bashers would not bash other fishermen for choosing to fish the canal. You know, the diligums are in full swing on Long Island. However, the fish are fully cooperative on the banks of the Cape Cod Canal. If you never tried it, please don't knock it. All right. I say this all the time. Every fisherman should fish it at least one time. You know, fish it once, get your own personal opinion of fishing on the canal, and then see if you feel the same way you felt before. Everybody that I took up with me and just introduced them to the canal or just showed them how things are done, their opinion changed. So I suggest you do the same. All right. The canal has produced my personal best fish for the 3rd consecutive year. I equate that to putting my time in on the canal. You know, the canal is not as easy as everybody makes it out to be. Yeah, there are people that come up there and they catch, you know, 30s, 40s on their first attempts. But hey, you know, that's because they had someone to at least give them some information. But the canal is a place wherein, you know, if you put your time in, you'll develop a consistency. And I believe that's what I'm doing. I believe I'm learning the canal. You know, I'm not no professional fisherman, nor am I, you know, nor do I know the canal, the ins and outs of the canal with the back of my head. I'm learning it. So I'm fortunate enough to have personal best every season for the past 3. All right, moving on to the fall run. Oh my gosh. Fall run was a joke on most accounts. But unfortunately, I experienced a lot of hardship. Most of the hardship of the season for me came in the fall. And it primarily focused around my car. It seemed like as soon as summer was over, and somewhere around in September, matter of fact, as soon as September came rolling around, you know, Labor Day weekend, my car was at a Honda dealership getting serviced, and a drunk driver plowed through their lot, hitting 6 cars. My car was one of them. So I didn't have my car through the month, basically, of September. All right, and then after that, when I got the car back, well, actually prior to me dropping it off at the dealership, someone not paying attention ran into the back of my car. Okay, great. So now I'm rolling around with minimal. It wasn't a lot of damage, but it was a little bit. So let that slide. Go to the dealer. Car gets hit. Right. When I got the car back about a month later, I hit a deer. I hit a deer, causing about $5,000 in damage. Thank God for insurance. All right. And then after that, you see what happened after I hit the deer. Get the car back, didn't have it a month or so, and then my transmission blew. Yeah. And then after the transmission blew, unfortunately, in the month of, let me see, I got it back. It blew in November. Got it back, and I just recently was T-boned. Guy wasn't paying attention, trying to get into a driveway, 40 plus miles per hour, man. He ran right into my passenger side and totaled my car. So I say all that to say this. Throughout the fall, basically, I didn't have my car. So all of the permits that I had on my car to be able to fish the, you know, prime locations, I couldn't do. I couldn't if I wanted to, let alone work. So what I had to do is I had to stick to fishing locations or spots that did not require a permit. You all know how boring that can be. But fortunately enough, you know, I guess the timing was right, and when I was on the water, the fish were there and they were cooperative. So I was still able to catch throughout the fall here and there, you know, kind of spotty, more fishing than catching. However, I was able to catch some nice fish, get into some nice sand eel bites, and you know, that lasted for pretty much a good while. However, again, these fish, you know, they were offshore, man, about a mile or so. You know, even when I was a couple of times in Montauk, I'm on a rock, and you know, I know the fish are around, but way too far out for us surf fishermen. So it's not a matter of the fish not being there, or you know, there's no more fish around. The fish are around in droves. It's just that you need a boat. If you had a boat, just the second consecutive year that if you had a boat, you would still catch it. So, you know, if I had it, I'm telling you, man, I would. This last season, you know, how it went, I would. If I had the money, I would definitely be getting a boat. I would love to get a Parker, slap a 2JZ GTE engine in there, get it ready for marine life, and enjoy the fishing that took place about a mile out. All right, so that's basically it. That's, you know, that's just a quick rundown of how the season went, and I hope that you was able to at least you know, get out there and catch some fish. And please remember to like my videos and share them. Please subscribe to my channel, and have a great day.